Welcome to another edition of The Caribbean Immigrant. I am Kamala Aaron, the host and executive producer of The Caribbean Immigrant, which is a new podcast that tells the stories of people who were born in the Caribbean or their descendants and leave the shores of paradise, basically, for the hustle of the developed world. And the person that I have pulling up to the Caribbean Immigrant today is a soprano, jazz singer, musical theater singer, songwriter, composer, playwright, actor, model, and activist, Marie-Claire Giraud. Welcome.
Good morning. Thank you for having me. This is
Thank you for
wonderful.
pulling up to the Caribbean Immigrant. Thank you for pulling
Absolutely.
up. Thank you. Thank you. Such a pleasure to have you.
Thank you. This is wonderful. I was looking forward to this.
Great. You look amazing.
Thank you, as do you, as always.
Girl, keep talking. Keep talking.
Right?
Yeah, so you look amazing. I've known you for a long time. And
Yes.
I mean, no, we're not necessarily like friends, like have coffee, but I've known you, I've known of you, I've known your work. And I want to get into that. So we'll get into all of that, all of the long list of things that you do. I want to get into that and get into your story. But I am starting the podcasts with rapid fire questions for all my guests, okay? So 5 rapid fire questions. And I'll start with this. What is your all-time favorite memory of the Caribbean?
Oh my God, my all-time favorite memory is leaving school, convent prep, and my mom taking me to the beach.
Really?
Yes, after school. Which is
Wow.
amazing. Yes.
Okay. I did not know you went to convent prep. Okay, we'll get into that.
Yes.
What is your favorite Caribbean saying?
My favorite Caribbean saying. Sakafet? No, that's Mission. Like I guess we can say that in
That's a good
Dominica.
one.
Yes.
Sakafet. And
Yes.
for the audience
Yes.
who do not speak Creole,
Yes.
that means how are you?
Yeah. How are you?
What's
How you
up? What's
doing?
going
Yeah.
on?
What's up? Yes. Yes. And for us from the French Creole speaking side of the Caribbean, it's like a universal saying from Guadeloupe
Absolutely.
to Martinique to Saint Martin, Haiti, Dominica.
St. Lucia,
Saint
yes.
Lucia. Yes. Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
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 Sakafet.
Yes.
Okay, rather, who has the best dialect and give me your best impression of it?
Okay. So I recently did my first movie, and I played a mom that was very angry with her daughter, and it was a mom with a Southern accent. So I have to say that right now it has to be like that Southern down South. You know what I'm talking about, honey? I need my cup of my mint julep on my veranda, and don't be bothering me with your problems.
Oh my God, who did you study to get that?
No one. It's it just slips in and out. It just goes, my brain clicks, and yeah.
Okay, so from the Caribbean,
Yes.
who has the best dialect from the Caribbean?
It would have to be Jamaicans. I mean, Jamaicans are just incredible. It's like this island, which has created so much onto itself,
Yes.
like a movement, of reggae music. And Jamaicans are so proud in their individuality, in their style. They're just Jamaicans. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. So they probably say Wagwan. That sounds like
One. Yes. Yes, absolutely.
But yeah, I love that. I love that. And I mean, Jamaicans are like they're an entity all to themselves.
Absolutely. And probably so. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. What is your go-to Caribbean song?
Oh my God. Myself Let me see you wave your
Ah,
hands and put them
but
in
then
the air. Hi, hi. That just gets me. I get
love
chills
it.
all now. So I get chills.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Oh my
I
God. What
love
does
me some
that do for
Allison
you?
Hines.
What does that do to you?
It just makes me feel that's my people. That's my people. It doesn't matter whether she's from Barbados or not. That's my region of the world,
Yes.
and I just feel so proud. It just
Yes.
gets me moving.
So, who is your favorite Caribbean artist?
Oh, my favorite Caribbean artist. There, you know what? It would have to be right now, Janine DePeek. You don't know her. She's a
I do not.
soprano. She's a soprano, and she's from
Uh-huh.
Trinidad. And she is Kamala, this woman is incredible.
Wow.
That is my favorite Caribbean artist right now. Yes.
Really?
Yeah,
Is she
Janine's a peak. She's all over Europe. I saw her this year in February at the Armory on Park Avenue and 68th Street, and she blew my mind. I have all
wow.
her recordings before that, and when I knew that she was coming here, I had to go see her. And yeah, it was incredible. She's incredible, and she's from Trinidad.
I will look her up.
Yes, yes,
Wow. Okay, so that was the rapid fire portion.
yes.
By the way, you're the first Caribbean person to do rapid fire like rapid fire. Okay?
Thank you.
I've realized doing the show, the Caribbean people, you can't do rapid fire.
Right.
You can't, you can probably talk. They
Yes.
talk a lot. Caribbean people talk a lot.
Yes.
So they give you a 5-minute answer for rapid fire questions.
Yes.
No
Do I
shame.
get a gold star? Do I get a gold star?
You deserve it.
Yes.
Oh my God. Okay. So let me get into your story now.
Okay. Yes.
I read that you were born in Dominica
Yes.
and you moved to the Bronx, New York
Yes.
at the
Yes.
age of 4.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
So my mom was married to Julian Giraud. Both my parents are from Dominica.
Yes.
My mom had already came here when she was 16, but she moved back to Dominica to marry my dad. And as West Indian men are, they can't keep their hands to themselves. So so my mom divorced my dad and moved my brother and I to the Bronx, New York, where I grew up. But she always kept us involved with Dominica. We were always there, especially for summer, we were always in Dominica. We
Really?
never lost connection. Yes.
Right. Right. And you said you went to convent prep.
Yeah. Is that the
So
one before convent? Convent
that's
prep,
correct.
right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So the
Yes.
prep is before the high school.
That's
And
right.
for our audience, like convent in Dominica, the convent preparatory school and the convent high school, it's a
Yes.
thing, okay? It's a thing.
Yes.
It's a
It's a thing.
prestigious school, it's a
Yes.
Catholic school,
Yes.
and it's a thing.
Yes,
So
it is. All
you
girls. Yes.
yes.
Yeah.
So the preparatory has boys and girls, but the convent high school, it's only girls.
Yes.
I myself did not go to the convent preparatory school or the convent high school, but it's a thing. So you went to convent prep, and
Yes.
so tell me, I'm trying to put the pieces together. So you
Yes.
you came to New York at age 4,
Sure. Yes.
but you went to convent prep. So
I
how?
remember the uniform. My parents, we lived on a house in Virgin Lane, which is
Yes.
basically spitting distance from convent.
Yeah.
And I remember the blue tie with the white shirt and the blue little navy blue skirt and my socks. And there was a lady that lived next door. And I don't know what it was about this woman's bread and jelly. Not that we didn't have bread and jelly in my home, but I had to have Phyllis's bread and jelly that was across the street, So I would come home from school and I would go right to Phyllis's little shop. And I would say, Phyllis, I come for my bread and jelly. And she said, yes, darling, sit down.
Oh my God, that is hilarious. So what is do you consider yourself like you're not the typical Caribbean immigrant that I've spoken to? Here's what I mean.
Yes.
Most people that I've spoken to, they have moved to the country that they're living in as full-grown adults. You came to America as a child.
Yes.
So is your experience more American or more Caribbean? How would you describe it?
I would say that it's a blend of both, 50-50, because even though I lived in New York City, grew up in the Bronx, when I came home, I came to a Dominican household. I came
Right.
to a West Indian household. The
Nice.
smell of cocoa tea, the smell of the spices, fish on Fridays, big lunches. We didn't have dinner on Sundays. We had big lunches on Sundays. And
Right.
it was I can clean, Kamala, better than anyone in the world. I mean, being raised by my mother and my grandmother, you could eat off the floor. Yes. And that was from my very
100%.
strict West Indian Roman Catholic upbringing.
We should have a clean off because
Yes.
I think I'm the best cleaner ever. No
Yes.
matter who sweeps, I'm like, mm-mm, not
Mm,
not not done
right.
well enough. Let me get it. Let me
Right.
get it.
Yes. Yeah. Then you missed that spot right
Yeah,
there.
exactly. That is funny. So you feel like you have had the real Caribbean experience growing up, even in the
Absolutely.
Bronx. Well, actually, the Bronx is almost like, the unofficial New York home for Caribbean people.
It has a tremendous population of people from the Caribbean, whether it's Dominican, Jamaican, Trinidadian. We have people from Santo Domingo, Puerto Rico, a lot of people from Puerto Rico and from the Dominican Republic.
Right.
Yes,
So you went to high school
yes,
in New York, in the
yes.
Bronx.
No, I
Um,
went to high school in Manhattan. I went to
oh,
Cathedral
in
High
Manhattan.
School, which is an all-girls school as well, Catholic school, that is affiliated with the UN. We had a lot of girls there that their parents worked at the UN, ambassadors' daughters, dignitaries' daughters, stuff like that. And that's
Okay.
where I went to high school.
But I read that
Yes.
that was not the best experience for you. You were bullied.
Not in high school, in grammar school. In
Tell me.
grammar school, ooh, girl. These girls I thought that, we're we're all black,
Yeah.
and we're all
Yeah.
no, 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 no. Coming from the Caribbean is something that is it's very distinctive.
Yes.
And there was one girl in particular, I'll never forget her, Donna Scott,
Mhm.
that my hair was a problem, my eye color was a problem, my skin color was a problem. How does your mom curl your hair like that? Because my mom would do Shirley Temple curls
Yes.
and send me to school.
You're right.
How to the point where she actually cut one of my curls off.
Stop it.
No, it was every day until my mom had to come to school and say to the principal that if this does not stop, she's going to take legal action because it was every day.
How did that impact you?
It was horrible. It was, and then on top of that, it was her. Then I was born with salt and pepper hair, Kamala.
I read that.
So they would call me grandma and silver streak and blah blah. So it was like it was impacted. Then I had a stutter, and it was just so I was tall, I was lanky, I had this salt and pepper hair. I had this girl who hated me, and so it was it was trials and tribulations.
Did you, I mean, I am someone who was bullied also, tremendously in primary school.
Mhm.
So I know what kind of impact it has on you, not only in the moment,
Yes,
but even, into your adulthood, believe it or not.
yes, yes.
I was followed home, and
Wow.
the girls would say to me, uh, "Oh, you think you are the smartest girl in school, or you think you're the best, or you think you're the queen." And I'm like, I'm
I'm just,
just I'm just trying to go to school.
I'm
I'm
just trying to go
10
to
years old.
school.
Like, I'm just trying to go to school. I loved school.
Right,
And I'm just trying to go to school and be my best self.
right.
But no, some people would not have that. I actually met the main girl years later. I was the press secretary,
Mm,
working in the
okay,
office of the prime minister.
okay.
And um, she walks in, and the Prime Minister's office has a program that helps people,
Yes.
you know, and she came in for assistance, and she spotted me, and the look on her face,
Right.
and I just made her feel at ease. I just went up to her
Hmm.
and I greeted her. I said, "Good morning, welcome to the office of the Prime Minister. You can have a seat right
Yes.
here, and you'll get assistance in just a minute."
I bet she was shocked.
Oh my God, it was it was a thing. But I'm just curious about if that caused any residual anything for you as a woman.
It was at the time it was very impactful because you just want to survive. I mean, school is hard enough. You just want to get through it, pass your grades, and move on to the next. But I I threw myself into my work and I threw myself into music. I started studying classical piano very young, and I just got on with it.
Yeah.
I just got on and I just went into myself,
Right,
basically. I became very much an introvert and very, I didn't want to be seen. I tried to make myself almost invisible that they wouldn't see me.
right.
But when you're the near tallest girl in class, it's hard to be invisible.
And you speak differently than everyone
And
else.
then I spoke, I had an accent and I spoke differently and my manners, because of the way I'm being brought up is different. So yeah, yeah, it was a problem.
So you started singing at what age?
My mom says, Kamala, that I sang before I spoke. So it's like I was always singing. And I thought because of that, everybody can sing. This
Right.
is what everybody does. But I was like, no, no, I found out. No, Mary Claire, not everybody can sing. And so I was put in the choirs in my grammar school, especially in high school. We had a band, and there was a huge choir that we had that sang at St. Patrick's Cathedral in New York. And it was wonderful. I threw myself into that.
When did you know that you could sing? Like,
Like
all of us
really
in the
sing.
bathroom, we do our
Yes,
own thing, but when did you
yes.
know that you could sing?
It was an opening mic night in New York. I was already probably my second year of college in New York at Brooklyn College, and I was invited to take part of this open mic night in New York City. And my friend at the time, she said, "Oh, Miracle, you have a great voice." I was like, she's my friend. She'll say, yeah, she'll say just about anything. She wants to make me feel good. But Kamala, when I got on that stage and I grabbed that microphone, it's like the room disappeared, the club disappeared. It's like the light shone on me, and it's like God talked directly to me. And he said, Mary Claire, you have found your voice. You have found it. This is what you're meant to do. This is
Wow.
it. It was an epiphany. And it's like I grew roots of an oak. No one could shake me. I didn't care what anybody said. This is what I was going to do. Didn't matter.
Wow. And
Yeah.
so you went after that, but also you're in a very specific space.
Yes.
So you're not, how did you discover that space? Because you're a soprano. Before
Right.
I get to the space, let's talk about
Yes.
that. You're a soprano.
Yes.
Everyone has knows everyone knows this word. The series made it legendary. But
Yes.
what
Yes.
is what is a soprano?
So the soprano is the highest voice of females in opera.
Got it.
But in that category, there are like three sopranos. There's dramatic soprano, there's lyrical, no, there's actually four. There's dramatic, there's lyrical spinto, there is lyric, and then there's coloratura soprano. So in the four, I am a lyrical spinto soprano, which is going to lead to dramatic later on.
So again, you're a singer,
Yes.
then you're a soprano,
Yes.
then inside of the soprano,
Soprano, it's something else.
you have something like, how do you discover that? How do you discover that?
Well, it's through various teachers, and this road has been quite rocky with lots of hills and valleys because the Black voice, if you're a person of color, the timbre of your voice is different to that of a Caucasian person. There's a color to the voice. It's like a burnished copper that can sometimes confuse the teacher into thinking that you might be something else. So in saying that, I was categorized as a contralto or a mezzo, which is lower than a soprano, just because of the certain color of my voice. But it's not the color, it's where the voice lies.
Got it.
And I'm a soprano because I can go to high C and higher.
Got it.
Yes.
So you discovered that through
Various teachers. Yes.
and
Yes.
okay. And so when you discovered that, you thought what? Like, okay, I'm just trying to understand, like, you discover your soprano and then you
Yes.
discover exactly the lane that you're in soprano.
Yes.
And then what happens? Is it something that you have to nurture in a particular way? Is it something that you are singing only particular types of songs? Like, talk to me about that.
So when I discovered all of this, I wanted to study opera singing at the source, which is going to Italy. I didn't
Okay.
want to stay in the United States. I really wanted to study where this music was created. So at the time, I was working in a store where the owner married an Italian years ago, and she was opening a store there. So I said, Genevieve, I would really like to go to Rome and work in the store while I pursue this. And she gave me the opportunity. I started taking Italian lessons right away. And then I went to Rome. And then I started studying opera in Rome. I mean, it was like a dream. It was literally a dream. With a Vespa, with my Vespa scooter, driving around like a madwoman, with my helmet on, driving the
Hilarious.
Carabinieri crazy because I was going down wrong streets, right? It was a mess. But anyway, but if you want to see some beautiful Italian men, the Carabinieri, which is the policeman, girl. I think I went down wrong streets on purpose, just so they would stop me. But I found a wonderful teacher. And I took some classes at the Conservatory of Music. And it was the best thing I ever did to myself, was going abroad, living and studying. And I tell that to any young person, before you settle down, before you do any of that, travel.
Yeah.
It's the best education you can do for yourself.
Wow. How long did you stay in Rome?
3 years.
So what brought you back? Or what was your studies complete? Like, what
My,
brought you
my,
back?
my studies was complete. I was kind of missing home a little
Yeah.
bit. My teacher was getting old, and he had stopped teaching. So I decided to then come back to the United States. And then I made my debut as a mezzo, not as a soprano yet, but as a mezzo contralto at Carnegie Hall.
At Carnegie Hall.
Yes, yes.
Can it get better than that?
It doesn't get better than that.
How does a girl
Yes,
born in Dominica
yes.
get to Carnegie Hall?
The particular teacher I was working with, Raymond Buckingham, who has since passed away, he was affiliated with the New York Grand Opera Company, who put on concerts there every year. And Raymond invited Maestro Vincent LaSalva to hear me. And he said, I really believe in this young lady. She has a great voice. Maybe she might be good on your next upcoming concert. And he booked me for it. And I sang 2 arias plus a huge scene from Rigoletto, which is wonderful. And it was amazing. It was an amazing experience.
So I'm also curious about this.
Yes.
What is the experience like for you as a woman born in the Caribbean, an immigrant in America? Is that a specific type? What is the immigrant experience in the field that you're in as a soprano? And let me slice that a little thinner.
Yes.
Are you competing with other people from the Caribbean? Are you competing with African Americans? Are you competing with everyone for roles, for, in auditions? Like, what is that experience like for you as someone who's a Caribbean immigrant?
I feel that as Caribbean people, I think that we hold ourselves differently. There is a bit of a we're just different,
Yes.
you know,
Yeah.
because on our islands we are predominantly who we are. We are Black. So we grow up with that, you know, whereas the African American experience is a different experience. And a friend of mine who is African American explained that to me. And I never really thought of it the way he explained it. He said, Mary Claire, you came here by choice. We didn't. So that it's a different, it's just different, my experience here. And my uncle said to me, who's an OBGYN surgeon, he said, Mary Claire, you can do anything. You can go anywhere. No door is closed to you. Just do the work. And you can go anywhere. Just be the best at what you can do, and no door will be closed to you. And that's the ethic that I've really kept with me my whole life.
So you don't necessarily feel, you know, different, smaller, intimidated, anything when you
No,
go, like, let's say
no.
on an audition, like you don't feel I'm a Caribbean person, or does that work to your advantage because
I
what?
use everything to my advantage.
Yeah,
It's all to my advantage. And I use it, and I use it. The only thing that can stop me is myself.
yeah, I love that. I also want to find out about
Yes.
this. You moved back to Dominica
Yes.
at a certain point. I remember, like in mid 2000s or something,
Yes. Yes.
you moved back to Dominica.
Yes.
Um, what caused that? What drove that?
My dad, Julian Giraud, he had gotten
And just for this, for the sake of our audience,
yes,
um, Marika's dad is someone who is very well
um,
known in Dominica.
larger than life. Yes.
Okay, very well known. I think he's like Rihanna. It's Julian. It's
Right. Yes.
Julian. It's that. It's Julian from Newtown, Julian Giraud. Oh, okay, got it. America's
Yes.
that.
Yes. Yes. And my dad was larger than life, you know, just a big personality,
Yeah,
and like old school, like Rat Pack kind of guy, you know. And he had just gotten out of a very hard time, and when I went down there to see him, he said, why don't you stay with me, you know, and and you can help me. And there's nothing more than I wanted more than to spend
yeah,
time with my dad, you know. And to be around him is like the sun is shining on you. And and that's why I stayed. And it was the best experience I've ever had, to have that time
really.
with him. Yes. Yes.
But how did that impact your singing career?
I wanted it to be a great experience for me, because I thought, I'm Dominican. Not only are my parents from Dominica, but I was born here, you
Yeah,
know. So I have every right to be here.
of
And
course.
it was a choice that I made, because I thought there were so many festivals within the Caribbean and Dominica that they would welcome me, you know, with open arms. I sing jazz, and I do this opera jazz fusion, and it's going to be wonderful. And yes, that was my thinking when I did it, and to help my dad.
Right.
Yes.
But were the opportunities the same? I mean, you live in New York. It
Yes.
makes perfect sense for someone like you, the work that you're doing, singing as a soprano, going on auditions, working on Broadway.
Yes.
We'll get to that in a minute. But opportunities for those things are very different, non-existent really, especially in the Caribbean.
Yes.
How did that impact, the drive that you had pursuing your music career?
My mom told me, she said, Mary Claire, you're making a mistake. Stay here. Don't go to what you think Dominica is not what it is. And so, but I didn't listen to my mother. And I went down, and my mother was right. It was hard.
Yeah,
I thought that I would be welcomed with open arms, but it was quite the opposite.
right.
I had to make my own opportunities. I had to
So,
make my own opportunities. Yes.
right. So because what, people didn't get it?
People didn't get it, and they didn't even, it's not only that they didn't get it, they did not even open their ears to receive it. You know, it's like the door was just shut, but not by everybody, because I had wonderful supportive, like the Nasi family at Fort Young Hotel, that was incredibly supportive of me. I had wonderful people on the radio stations that played my music. And the other islands, I performed in St. Lucia. Jamaica was jazz. I performed at Jamaica Jazz and Blues Festival up teen amount of times. Nellie Starr was one of my biggest supporters, who I miss to this day. Iola George was my PR, and it still is my PR. So it was not all bad, but when you have a minister of government, when you're singing on stage, say that, oh yeah, she's good, but this is not for Dominica, it closes the society.
Wait, that
We,
happened?
yes, we can do anything. Our talent is boundless. It is limitless. It's not just for soca, for bouillon, or for calypso, which I absolutely adore. We are capable of anything we want to do, whether it's jazz, whether it's classical, whether it's creating our own genre. We can do it all and be great at it.
Very interesting. So you moved back to the United States.
Yes, yes.
How long did you end up staying in Dominica?
5 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That was, that's okay. So wait, that's a long time for
yes,
you to have, that experience. Well, the door feels shut,
yes.
but you still stayed 5 years.
Yeah. And it's like it happened in, like, I would say the first year I met one of the organizers for the Barbados Jazz Festival, and I got the gig like that.
Hmm.
But I could not get musicians in Dominica to play with me,
Got it.
to go to Barbados. And it was just mind-boggling to me. I was like, what? I didn't understand. And I stayed, I toughed it out, but it was just, yeah. And I came back, and I came back to my melting pot of a city.
And you have not looked back.
And I have not looked back.
You were in a Broadway play.
Yes, yes, yes,
I mean, again, you sing on Carnegie Hall at Carnegie Hall.
yes,
You're on Broadway. So,
yes,
especially from our world as people from the
yes,
Caribbean, you hear about Broadway all the time.
yes.
What was that like? What was the experience like? Walk me through a Broadway audition and you learning that you got the role.
So it was, I got the scholarship for HB Acting Studios, which is a very iconic acting studio in the West Village, and opened by Uta Hagen, which is a Oscar-nominated actress. She won the Tony for Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf on Broadway. Now, I got the scholarship to do acting at HB because one of the board members of HB saw me singing on stage, and she said, she's a great actress. She came backstage. She said, listen, I want to invite you down to HB Studios, and I want you to audition for us to just bring a monologue. And even if you don't have a monologue, just come down and sing for us a very dramatic piece. And I did. And I got into the studio on full scholarship. That led me to meet my present acting coach, Lorraine Sarabian, Tony-nominated actress. And Lorraine Sarabian was directing the Tennessee Williams play that I auditioned for. Now, when I audition for things, I don't like to do too much work beforehand because I like it to be really fresh. So I went in, I maybe looked it over once, maybe twice, and I got in, and I followed my instincts. And Tennessee Williams gives you everything you need to know. Incredible playwright. And I was playing Goldie, who is the proprietor of a brothel, darling, in St. Louis. Yes.
Wait, how does one study for that? What's your motivation?
What's my So in the liner notes of Hello from Bertha, Tennessee Williams writes such a specific character, very detailed what he wanted for Goldie. You
Right.
know, she's a voluptuous woman. She's wearing this these fluffy slippers, you know, she's wearing this silk robe. And he gave me very specific notes for her. So I knew already who I wanted her to be. And then on top of that, once I get a role, I like to do a backstory
Mm,
of who Goldie is and who she is to Bertha, who's the
right.
lead in the play. And they're
Right.
good friends. So I fill it in even more. And on top of that, in the liner notes, Tennessee Williams writes, throughout this brothel, the blues song St. Louis Blues is played. So Kamal, I'm thinking to myself, I sing St. Louis Blues in all my jazz shows.
Wow.
How am I going to incorporate this on the stage? I didn't tell Lorraine, the director, what I was going to do. So I was like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. My second entrance, I'm off stage. So before you see me, you hear me
Uh,
singing St. Louis Blues as I come on the stage singing it. And it was just, and Lorraine said, just keep doing what you're doing. I have no notes.
but I'm curious, how do
Yes.
you, where did that come from? Where did you learn to act? How did that come about?
I think that because it's in opera singing, it's not just you're singing a song, it's a story. Operas are two
Such a
hours long,
character.
such characters,
Yes.
and you have to build your character. You know, you're not just singing one song, but even in a song, there's a story being told in each song. So I was just naturally acting in all my operatic roles. So it was already there, even though a lot of opera singers are not actors, but that's just, I just have one of my gifts.
If you do say so yourself.
If I do say so myself, darling.
What has been your favorite role, your best role by far, um, in the acting space?
I would say the role that I just did, it's called Free 99. It's a short film that I just found out is sponsored by Gucci. We're going to go on this huge press junket here in the city, coming up very soon for it.
Sis.
And yeah, yeah, you can't make this stuff up. I mean, what's meant for you is meant for you.
Wow.
Yes, yes. And it's not in our time, it's in God's time, honestly, because yeah, I can't make this up. Yeah.
Wow,
Yes.
congratulations. That's
Thank you.
amazing.
Yes, yes, thank you. Thank you. Playing Tanya was absolutely wonderful. She's a mom. She's a hardworking mom. She is I'm a paralegal. She provides everything for her daughter. So she wants to make sure that her daughter is safe, her daughter's educated, and she wants to make sure that her daughter has the tools that she needs for the world that we live in right now.
So, speaking of tools for the world,
Yes,
um, I'm curious about one pursuing such a very specific type of career.
yes,
It's very niche.
yes,
I'm just going to ask the question.
yes.
Um, does does one how can I say this? Is this a career that one can live off of? You know, how there is a portrayal of people who are in the arts, they're
Yes,
struggling to pay their bills, they're struggling, just in general, and they have to have a regular job in order to pursue their passion and their dream.
yes.
Um, how do you see it? What is your experience in
My
that?
it's extremely hard. It's extremely hard, but I feel that if you're going to do anything in this life, you have to be passionate about it. You have to be passionate. That's the only thing that's going to get you through. is that passion, is that drive, because it's not about the talent. I would say the talent is 5% of it. You need to have,
5%.
yeah, you need to have the determination, the work ethic, the confidence, and just not to care what anybody says. And you have to have that faith that is so rooted within you that you will just keep going. Just keep going. And the universe will provide. It will provide.
Because, I mean, to hear your story and the things that you've done are so extraordinary. And again, I have to say, from as a woman who was born in the country of Dominica,
Yes.
being on Broadway, singing at Carnegie Hall and all of those things, being an actor. It's just so interesting to me. Is there advice that you would have specifically for, you know, let's say girls from the Caribbean wanting to pursue a career that is similar to yours?
I would say if you have a dream, never give up on that dream. You have to keep going, one foot in front of the other, one step forward every day. Do the work, do the work, do the work. Do not skip any steps, because you're going to take 5 steps forward to go 15 steps backward. So take your time, do the work, and never give up. And listen to that voice within yourself. We all have it, that instinct that will lead you in the right direction, and keep your integrity.
What does do the work look like for someone in your space?
The work doesn't stop. I'm always working. I'm always working. Like, I wake up in the morning and I'm already thinking about which artists am I going to be looking at today. I have some auditions coming up. I have to lay out which songs I'm going to be singing for the audition, which coaches I'm going to be going to prepare me for the auditions, and basically doing my vocal lessons, preparing wardrobe, because especially for jazz, I don't just get up on stage and just sing a song. It goes down to what I wear.
Yes.
Everything is detailed. What am I putting on? What is the look that I want to convey? What am I telling? What is the story I want to tell in my set? So it's from the time I get on that stage, a story is being told.
Do you have a stylist?
I do not. I style myself.
Do you?
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
I see your shots and all of that. So job well done.
Thank you.
And is the flower like your signature thing?
The flower is one of my signature things. I love the flower. I love the flower, especially when I was in Hawaii. I was wearing flowers every day. It was fantastic. Yes. And also know your body.
Yeah.
Know your body. Know what looks good on you.
Yes.
Especially in front of camera. Do test shots in your home. Put up your iPhone, or whichever phone you have. Take pictures, take videos, walk around, test it, because what best looks good on you.
Yes.
And not everything looks good on everyone.
Absolutely.
So find out.
Can you say that again, though? For those in the back, Mary Claire. For the people in the back row.
Not everything looks good on everybody. Girl, I mean, that's a whole nother conversation.
100%. And it's for everyone. Like, I don't look good in everything.
Right.
And
yeah, right.
I accept that.
Yes.
And absolutely. I stay in the things that it's almost like I have a signature look, because things look good on me and I just stick to it.
I just stick with it. That's right. That's right. Because especially not only if you live in Dominica, but especially living in New York, when I go outside my door, I don't know who I'm going to meet.
Absolutely.
I don't know who I'm going to run into. So I always want to show myself the best that I can possibly be on any given day. And be ready for those opportunities, because they will come. Be ready. Be open. Positivity. Meditate. Find your spiritual center. You know, whether it's you're a Catholic, you're a Buddhist, it doesn't matter, but find your spiritual center. Super
Now,
important.
okay. I'm gonna ask you this because it just clicked in my mind.
Yes.
Um, when you were in Dominica,
Yes.
how much was it of a thing, your accent? Because you're in America, you're
Yes.
in New York, you,
Yes.
you have difficulty because you have an accent. As soon as you open your mouth, someone knows that you're not you're an immigrant of some sort.
Right.
And then you go back to Dominica
Yes.
and you have an accent that is not like Dominicans really.
Right.
How much of an issue was that?
It's like, what is she doing here? It's like, what do you mean? What do you mean? What am I doing here? I'm from here. Why did she go back to America? You know, and be
Yeah.
called Yankee. And it was just, yes.
No, I so as soon as you said the word matter,
Yes.
um, it just clicked. I'm like, hmm. So she in Dominica, as soon as you say matter, not
Yes.
matter,
Right.
people will be like, who is she?
Yeah.
Who is she? You know?
Yes.
So I was just
Right.
curious about what that experience was like. Um, so you're a songwriter. I've been listening to some of your music, by the way,
Yes.
just in preparation for talking to you.
Yes.
What in all the things that you do, so you're a jazz singer, musical theater singer, songwriter, composer, actor, playwright. What would you say is your favorite spot, or what's your sweet spot?
It would be singing. Singing is the beginning, is the first. And I just love to sing. I really loved, I wish there was another word in the vocabulary other than love to compare with how I feel when I sing, because it surpasses love. It's just something else. Yes.
So, as far as songwriting is concerned,
Yes.
do you do that often? Like, what is your process for that?
So my process for, especially with Chasing Rainbows, which I won an award for,
Yes.
the Intercontinental, I was working with a producer. We were doing some songs, and he gave me some beats to listen to, just some random music so that I could write off of. Chasing Rainbows, I wrote in less than 30 minutes, the complete song. And it was just done. And it's a song about, I was feeling kind of low at the time because things weren't going well. They weren't going as fast as I wanted it to go. And I just wanted sunshine, and all I saw was clouds. And Chasing Rainbow is a song about never giving up on your dream.
Yes.
Even if there are clouds, you still have to keep working. You still have to keep doing. You have to get out of bed, take a shower, wash your hair, and keep doing the work. And the sun will shine, and you will get that rainbow. But you just have to keep moving forward.
So singing is your sweet spot.
It is my sweet spot. Yes, it is. Yes.
And you're an activist.
Yes.
Talk to me about that kind of work. What got you into activism?
I believe in the support of children.
Mhm.
I think that children need all of our love, all of our support, all of the time, because that time, childhood is so short and it's so precious and it's fragile,
Yeah.
and that fragility can be broken at any time, like that. And I think kids need to be protected, and I don't think they're protected enough.
Mm.
So whenever I do go on tour, I like to do outreach. I go to high schools. I like to talk to kids, especially kids of color. Like when I went to Hawaii, I did an outreach where the whole auditorium was filled with brown kids, Native Hawaiian children, and just talk to them about my journey, about being a singer, being a songwriter, being an actor. And I think it's very important for children to see someone that looks like them doing something that they wouldn't think is possible.
Yeah. Um, did you think it was possible? And who did you see um, who looked like you doing what you do?
After I got off of that stage, Kamala, it didn't matter where I thought it was possible. I was going to do it.
Oh, wow.
I was going to make my way to do it. There was just, yeah, there was no other thing I was going to do. That was it. And then I had role models. I had Marian Anderson, Leontine Price, Jesse Norman, Shirley Verrett, Grace Bumbry, all of these Black opera singers that's been paving the way, Kathleen Battle. So there were tons of references to pull from.
Right. And again, as a Caribbean immigrant,
Yes,
did you feel that you could get to all of the people that you mentioned who paved the way in that space? Did you feel that you could do that? I can do that. It
I
does
knew
not
that,
matter where I was born. It does not matter
right.
where I come from. It does not matter what I look like. I can do that.
I knew that I could do it. I didn't know how. I didn't know how I was going to get there, but I knew that I could do it. I knew that I could get there. I just didn't know how it was going to happen. And that's why I say, do the work.
Yeah.
Do the work. Just do the work, and the universe and God, Buddha will provide. The doors will open. The opportunities will come. You have to be open to the opportunities.
And you also do some modeling.
Yes, darling.
Sis, what don't you do?
I don't sing gospel, and I'm not an athlete. And I don't do windows.
You don't do it. Oh my. Good to know. Good to know.
Yes.
So tell me how you got into modeling.
So when I got back after the pandemic, I got a random email from state modeling agency, state management. And I thought at first I thought it was bogus. So I sent it to a friend of mine who actually does work at a modeling agency. And he said, no, Marie Claire State is very much legitimate. You should go. So I went, and they signed me to their lifestyle division. And I've done shoots, I've done fashion shows, and it's just another extension of my creativity as an artist.
How, what's your, too many questions in my head at the same time.
That's the next program.
Um, who is your dream artist? Like if you had to do a collaboration, for example, who's your all-time favorite that you dream of doing a collaboration with?
So right now, the single that's out right now, they've just released on Friday's Caravan with which is a Duke Ellington jazz standard. And it is my dream to have Idris Elba do the house remix version of this song. It is my dream because Kamala, I know that once this man, it's a Grammy-winning project. I have the video in my head. I have everything. Everything. Yes, it's my dream to have this man remix this song.
Let's just put that out there in the universe.
Yes, 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 yes.
I heard he's a pretty good DJ.
He's an amazing DJ. So it is my dream. It's been my dream to have him take this song and to do a remix of it.
Okay. Because he's married, so it's just a song that you're looking to get a remix
No,
of.
it's just a song. Yeah, that's not. I'm not. No. I can't. I'm not. No. I'm not built for all that. No.
Idris, Idris is a.
That's a whole lot.
Is a god in
Yes.
the Black universe.
Absolutely, absolutely. In the universe, actually.
Facts.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, just the song. I would love to work with him on that song, remixing the song.
That's amazing.
Yes.
And what is, as you continue on this, music career, what do you see as the end goal? What's the ultimate dream for you and your career in music, and specifically in the soprano that you do?
My ultimate goal is to sing the role of Aida, Verdi's Aida, in a production, because it's about a Black woman, a Black Ethiopian princess that is captured by Egyptians in the times of ancient Egypt. And of course, when captured, they do not know that she's a princess. And the music is absolutely gorgeous, Kamala. It's incredible. So that's my dream. Yes, regarding opera. Yes.
Wow. Do you think it can happen? Do you think
I believe it can happen. I believe that's where I'm going. That's where I'm headed. Yes.
no, well, from your lips to God's ears.
Ears, absolutely. Absolutely. That's why I say do the work. Just do the work every day.
So as we come to the end of this program,
Yes.
I want to find out from you the main thing that you would like to leave with people about one, getting into the space that you are, and
Yes.
two, persevering in that space. What would you like people to know?
I would like people to know that you have to persevere. You have to be persistent. You have to be consistent. You have to show up, but not just show up, but show up to win. Show up to win every time, and you will get there. And never give up, and always do the work. There is work to be involved in everything that anyone wants to pursue in life. Whether you want to be a garbage collector, whether you want to be a gardener, there's a process. And we always strive as people of color, as Caribbean people, to be the best every time, to show our best face every time. And that will only serve you. That will only serve you in the best way possible. So never give up, do the work, show a good face, and show up. And when you do show up, be positive, be humble, be gracious, be kind.
I think that's a beautiful, beautiful way to close. I think
Thank you.
that's a beautiful way to close. So I thank you so much for sharing with us. And I wish you so much more success
Thank you so much for having me.
in everything that you do.
Thank you.
Um, where can people find you?
So my website is www.marieclairgiraud.com. And I'm so active on Instagram at Marie Claire Plus.
Marie Claire Plus. You're
Yes.
also on LinkedIn.
And also on LinkedIn. Yes, Marie Claire Giraud. I always forget about LinkedIn.
Marie Claire, it was a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me, Kamal, and have a great day.
I wish you the same. And that was another edition of The Caribbean Immigrant. And we'll see you next time.